Here's it's meaning.
Yeah, here we go.
I hate that. I hate that thing.
I don't know why it's so quiet. I don't know why your board is so quiet. It's really bugging me because it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It should be adjusted to the volume of your microphone.
Like all my audio things?
Yeah, like how high is the adjustment on your mic?
It's up there. Let me go higher?
Not on your microphone, but you get like
on the audio?
Yeah, try a clap track.
Okay. I can turn it up.
Yeah, that sounds better. Maybe it's just, it felt like such a low output, you know?
Yeah. Well said, Cory.
Oh, I can already tell this is going to be a shit show.
It's so cliche too.
Yeah, I mean, essentially every like pre-configured like MIDI sound on your board is just what they have on Tonight shows.
Yeah,
it's like, clap tracks. It's just
who came up
laughter.
with that?
I don't know, but obviously I feel like they always use that for like fill-in audience applauses at like certain, you know what I mean, in certain things. Like even if it's live, you know that they fill a lot of that shit in like post.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, because those crowds are not that amped up. Who the fuck wants to see Jimmy Kimmel for an hour and a half, however long it is?
And you know the drummer is always
fake.
some late 40s, mid to mid 50s guy wearing shades. And he's the only one that slightly looks more casual than the rest of the band up on that stage.
The drummer always looks the most casual.
Yeah.
But the drummer is essentially, in most cases, the drummer is the one that talks to the host. Except for David Letterman's guy. He was the guy with the weird, freaky round glasses. It was a piano player. He was a keyboard guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the time it's a drummer. Maybe it's not, though. Maybe I'm just thinking of two shows. Because I feel like there's another late night host who's like a guitarist. But also, who decided like to talk to a representative in the house band? Like, how is your house band guy a co-host? Why not be more like Conan O'Brien and have Andy Richter as your guy?
Yeah.
Why talk to a band? What's the point? That guy's a musician. He's not a co-host. Who the fuck decided to talk to a band? How did that become relevant?
I don't know, actually.
Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear what a fucking guy in a band has to say. I don't want to hear their like pretend to be quips that they use after everything that the host says. Like, I don't like everything they respond to. The host will say something, crack a joke, or it'll be a question to that guy. But the person in the band, it's like a 4-word answer. That's it. Yeah. That's all you get out of them. There's no good, healthy context to it. No one gives a shit. Like, I don't want to fucking hear from that guy. As a matter of fact, I don't even care about the fucking music. I don't care about I don't care about the house band music. I don't care. Like when they do the little like, there's the music guy. Like, get the music going.
I wish it like
shit.
What do you think, Danny, the drummer? I don't like it here. I'm missing my daughter's dance recital.
Exactly. It's pathetic. It's actually, can you feel my intensity rising as a result of me thinking about this more and more and how ridiculous it is that there's house bands that a host of a Tonight Show actually talks to?
Yeah.
Like, what producer was like, you know who we should have Jay Leno talk to? The guy in the band, Steve. We should have him talk to Steve. Steve's an interesting guy. And then everyone else started doing it. Who gives a fuck? I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear that guy. I don't even want to hear Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. I don't want to hear any of them. They're all a bunch of fucking morons. It's like, who gives a shit? No one cares. No one cares about the house band guy. No one gives a fuck. The guy with the squirrely glasses. Who gives a shit? I don't care what he has to say. He just goes, ha ha, that's right, Conan. That's right, David. Ugh.
Yeah. It's a bit much.
Fucking annoying. It's really annoying. And this is actually more of my hatred for Tonight Show hosts these days, because nothing on TV is funny anymore. Nothing on TV is fucking funny. Nothing. Unless it's a comedy special, there is literally zero broadcast TV that's funny. Zero.
But you know what is funny? Wicked slams on Instagram.
Dude, I watch Wicked Slams all the time. I America's Got No Talent. I watch Wicked Slams. What's the Children Getting Hurt? Children Getting Hurt's the funniest one.
Oh man.
Oh, Wicked Slams is good. I have a hard time watching the ones where guys bite it on a skateboard
or breaking shit. Oh.
Yeah, and like they fucking rack their nuts. Like or the guys that face plant and then they get up and their teeth are gone and they're just shattered in their mouth. I have a hard time watching those, but there are some really fun. I like the funny ones where like someone jumps off of something and misses it, jumps off a roof and misses a mattress and they land on their tailbone. Those are hilarious.
Oh,
I really like those. Yeah, there's a few. But what does that say about us? What does it say about us? Like my favorite Instagrams are the ones where people are getting hurt.
That means tough, no empathy.
That's tough. Yeah. Or it's
But if there's ever a moment where you go, oh God, that means you have empathy.
No, I don't. I usually just go, oh man, oh shit, and then I show everybody, and then I'm just posting it about. No, it's weird. You know what comes up? You tell me what comes up on yours. I'll tell you what comes up on mine. I'll go first. Okay. If you scroll through just like the explore page, actually you go first. What comes up on yours? What do you see the most
on Instagram?
Yeah.
All right, let me open it.
Yeah, open it now. And then tell me what comes up on your explore page. And I'll tell you what comes up on mine. I'll tell you like the top videos that I have.
Okay.
Or the top things.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
A dude popping a zit in a mirror.
Oh yeah, that's on brand for you, for sure.
Rihanna with her tits showing through her shirt.
Nice. I like that. That's good. That's good. Appropriate.
Really hefty but very sexy Velma in a subway train.
Okay.
I'm assuming a Muslim or Middle Eastern man who has so much facial hair, but they're shaving it all off. A botfly being removed from someone's head.
All right, definitely on brand for you.
I don't know what that is, but it looks like a small creature coming out of something.
This is going to give a lot of insight into like a window into our lives that otherwise people wouldn't get.
Yeah. Johnny Depp pretending to be Jack Sparrow. Oh shit!
Okay.
Oh
okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it sounds like you did this last time. You know, that's that noise that I heard the last time that really pissed me off.
It's like I think there's a short in it.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. Someone's wood carvings.
Okay, kind of on brand for you, a little bit.
Bunch of blackheads, bunch of zits. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Terminator cutting off all the skin on his forearm in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
All right. We got a good sampling. That's a good sampling. I like it. Pretty on brand for you, though. Like the pimple thing and the blackhead thing, all that. And yeah, that's pretty on brand.
Yeah.
Mine, a recipe for fried chicken.
Okay.
A drummer playing like at a live show.
All right.
Steaks on a cast iron skillet.
Mm-hmm.
A raw steak. Sebastian Vettel when he won his first race with Ferrari. So F1. A mugshot of John Jones, who's an MMA fighter. Here's a cigar and an espresso, a Cuban cigar, a Bolivar and an espresso.
Okay.
Butterbean, remember that fat fucking raw dog boxer? Butterbean. Post Malone playing guitar, so that's an interesting one.
Great.
Anthony Joshua, who's a boxer from the UK. A rack of beef spare ribs. A rack of beef ribs. Damn, those look good. Fuck, that looks legit. And a picture of a smoker, like a trailer smoker. So, and then here's one of knives, a bunch of knives. Oh, here's another one of steak and a chicken parm. And then one of, who's this guy? General Milky?
General Milky?
Hold on.
Milky.
Millie, sorry.
Oh.
And that's all a K in there. It's Millui.
I just imagine
thought it was Milky.
I was picturing a small baby in a general's outfit going, Milky.
Oh, that's funny. Anywho, yeah, there you go. A glimpse, I think a decent glimpse into our lives. Like these are the things that we cherish on social media.
How did sexy Velma show up in my feed though?
Yeah, well, how does blackheads and like popping pimples show up in your feed? Because you specifically look for those things.
You looked at them, yeah.
You have a Scooby fetish?
No. Well, probably.
I always thought Velma was kind of the hottest.
She's the freaky one.
Yeah, the redhead one is a little stuck up fucking bitch.
She's
Velma's the one that likes to party.
Yeah, Daphne's the one that needs like a fucking 2-hour back rub and like oil massage, and you got to treat her to nice dinner, and you got to put all the candles out.
I don't even think you could do that. I still think she would put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a prude.
Not today, Freddie. You know, and you're like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mean that, but Velma's one's like, I've only fingered myself for the last 20 some years as a virgin. I am ready. And she'll be like, I will do anything.
Do you think so? I think she's more like, hey, I just had a 3-way with Scooby and Shaggy. I think that's Velma.
She's probably a little adventurous, yeah.
Like she fucking rolls out of the back of the Scooby-Doo van, and she's sweaty and gross, and they all 3 traipse out together.
Yeah, she puts Scooby's shock collar between her legs.
Exactly. He's like, oh, ready for a Scooby snack?
Wait, that's Yoda.
I don't know. It's pretty close. It's applicable to both. Oh my God, Yoda's Scooby. Scooby's Yoda. Huh?
Oh, dude, maybe.
The same person, then that'd be wild. All right. We got to get into this fucking episode. This is my Mount Rushmore. Chris announced his current Mount Rushmore. That was probably 5 or 6 episodes back. It's been a while. Since I could.
The list has changed.
Hold my head up high. It's been a while. That guy's terrible. Aaron, whatever his name is.
Hernandez.
Stained. Well, I don't think he's Mexican. So anyway, so you did your Mount Rushmore, and we've said this, and I do want to preface because you already said it. It changes. Mount Rushmore changes. Mine has not changed since I initially wrote it, and I'm looking in my handy dandy notebook that I have, and I actually wrote this 4 weeks, almost a month ago, and it has not changed. So it is the same. It remains the same to this day. So you did your Mount Rushmore. Your top, and people ask us all the time, what are your favorite cigars? I hate when people say, what are your favorite cigars of all time? Because all time means all time, and all time hasn't happened yet. I don't plan on dying this afternoon. So for me to give an all time is impossible because I plan on living more time. So to say all time is not possible. You could limit it to the time up in which is current now, which is essentially what I'm doing. But to say your favorite cigars of all time doesn't really make sense because all time is pretty infinite.
You could be a Nostradamus and say, in 2043,
right,
I will experience and smoke the greatest cigar I have ever had.
That'd be awesome. I wonder what cigars are going to be like in 10 years. You know what I mean? Like something that has been relatively, for the most part, in terms of production and farming and all that, has been the same for hundreds of years. Like what kind of adjustments are going to be made in the next 10 years? Like what could we stand to see?
Tobacco strains that have been cobbled together genetically.
Yeah, I agree.
Synthetic leaves.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? The Pee Wee Herman movie where he grows hot dogs on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to do something real crazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, we got to get into some cigar news. We have things to talk about.
Oh, okay. That's fair, Cory. Cue intro.
All right, let's get into some cigar news. We don't have a lot today, but we have some things, and they are pretty relevant. Number one on that list, Espinosa's Laranja Reserva Azulejo, which I believe is just Laranja Reserva bluish, is finally arriving at stores. So this is the new. Now I will say this, Espinosa, because we've talked about this. We actually talked about Espinosa not that long ago. In terms of like, they have some cigars that are really good. The Laranja series cigars are absolutely phenomenal, right? The original Laranja, the Laranja Reserva, I think is equally as good as the original. And the original is very highly rated. And so was the Reserva edition. Well, this is the latest edition, which is the Azulejo, which has a blue footband at the bottom and a little bit of blue interlaced in the regular Laranja traditional band. Like that hasn't changed. The design and artwork has stayed the same. Those are arriving to stores this week, which is really exciting because I'm not the biggest fan of Espinosa cigars. And it's not because they're not good. They're very well built, very well constructed. They have a great reputation in the industry. They just tend to be a lot of times too much for me. Too much
spicy,
too much heaviness, too much spiciness. Like, you know, sometimes I'm admittedly at heart a little bitch when it comes to cigars, and Espinosa cigars are not bitch cigars. They're just not bitch cigars.
You know, there's a saying.
They're very robust.
There's a saying in the industry.
Yep.
Espinosa, burn your nosa.
Have you seen a picture of this cigar, by the way?
No, I have not.
Dude, it is dark as night. Yeah. Look it up. I'm not going to share screen. It's real dark. It looks fucking incredible. Now, what does it consist of? It uses a dark Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Brazilian binder, and then of course fillers from Nicaragua, different Nicaragua regions. Dude, it looks amazing. It looks so thick and juicy. It looks like Lizzo. If Lizzo was a cigar, she'd be this cigar.
Is that the same wrapper as the new Crown Heads?
No. Well, okay. If Crown Heads, what was it? Ecuadorian
Sumatran, I thought.
Ecuadorian Sumatran and Oscuro? Was that what it was?
I thought.
So if that was Ecuadorian Sumatra Oscuro, what is this? What is darker than Oscuro? Because this thing is fucking black. Because John made it a point to correct us. He was the variance in color is based on the wrapper. So if it's naturally a lighter shade of wrapper, the darker shade of the variance of that wrapper would be considered Oscuro. I mean, the darkest of what that lighter wrapper type could be. Right. But how do you explain this one? This thing looks as dark as night.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I will say this, though. Super fucking stoked for this cigar. I always look forward to these cigars every time they release one. I thought, again, the original Laranja, absolutely amazing. The Reserva, which is the next iteration, absolutely amazing. And every Vitola. Like, dude, that cigar in a Lancero was absolutely incredible. So I'm very, very, very much looking forward to the cigar. So be on shelf soon. So check them out.
Looks great.
It does look, doesn't that look, it looks fucking awesome. All right, next on the list, here we go. Tatuaje, it's that time of year. Here comes the Monster. The Monster is a redo of the original, the first one that came out in 2008, which was the Frank. So this is the Frank Part 2 that is coming to us years and years later. Actually, I think it was last week, Shane, a friend of ours, he had commented, he said something to me, and I had posted a picture of the Las Calaveras, and he goes, name another cigar that has the same kind of hype around its release every single year. And the only one that I could come up with was the Tatuaje Monster series. I'm like, that's the only one that comes close. And I really think that's the truth. What else is out there that comes on a yearly release that everybody gets amped up about? There's not very many. I was trying to think about it, and I'm like, from what I know, it seems like the Monster series is the only one that is potentially on that same level. So here you go. You have the Frank. The original Frank came out in 2008. Of course, we have this new release, which comes in 666 coffin boxes, which hold so many cigars. There's 5,000 coffin boxes are going to be created for this, of course, in alliance or in parallel with the Monster series. 13 cigars per each box. They're playing on the 13, the 666, the whole idea of like this devilish Halloween theme. $65,000 total, and they're set the MSRP at around $13, which is typical for the Monster series stuff. I've always said I love the Bride. I've had most of them, not all of them, but they tend to always be really good cigars. So you have the new, which is the Frank Redo, will be out in shelves like literally within like a week. So they'll be here in October, ready to roll.
Who do you think's playing Frankenstein in this one?
I don't know. Oh, I forgot to tell you though. Total side subject. Do you see the new Wolf movie?
Nope.
It's literally called Wolf.
Wait, like with Jack Nicholson?
No. It's called Wolf. It's like you'll recognize him. He's a British kid. But basically the storyline is around these folks that have like an animalistic mentality about them. Like it's a disorder where they identify as animals, but it looks like a couple of them really are animals, like the wolf. So it looks kind of cool. It looks neat. It looks very neat. I figured that'd be right up your alley. It's literally called Wolf. So you should watch the trailer. It's very intriguing. But there you have it. New Monster series coming out, hitting shelves very, very soon. The Frank, the Redo. There you go. All right. This one, dude, I'm super stoked about, and I know you will be too. I know you're going to be so stoked about this. Foundation Cigars has released and announced that there will be a David and Goliath Vitola for the Tabernacle Havana Seed Connecticut 142, which I think is the coolest thing ever. And as a matter of fact, if someone actually put this on record, I said it would be way cooler for them to do these two Vitolas in the Connecticut Havana Seed 142 than the previous one and like what was the Elwyn Winsay. So here they are. They're coming. And I will say this, both the David and Goliath Vitolas in the previous, like the 15th anniversary one was absolutely incredible. Like both of them were very, very good. But the cigar, in terms of the Tabernacle Havana Seed Connecticut, is one of my favorite cigars from Foundation. So I can only imagine this Vitola, which I love these style of Vitolas. I fucking obsessed with them. I think this is going to be absolutely incredible. So the David is a 5x54. The Goliath is a 5x58. MSRP for the David is $12. The Goliath $14, respectively. So pretty much on par with the two previous iterations, David and Goliath cigars. But it's really cool that Foundation is like, hey, we're going to do this with a Havana Seed, which I think is such a good idea because I think the blend of that cigar is so outstanding. It's very, very, very delicious. So I'm really excited about this. These will be produced at the AJ Fernandez factory, who produces pretty much they produce the new LARANJA, the LARANJA Reserva Blue, which is what I'm going to call it. They produce that too. It's like AJ Fernandez produces everything now, pretty much. Just go to him and he'll make shit for you. But I'm really, really excited for this release just because that blend is outstanding. I can just imagine in this Vitola how much flavor is going to be in the cigar. It's going to be fucking unreal. So I'm really, really excited for it. All right. That ends it for the news, Chris. Now we ready to get into the juice of the episode? Do we want to get into the juicy stuff? Which is my Mount Rushmore cigars.
Yeah, we're going to see if we're going to impeach one of these bitches.
Remove them from the mountain. You know, the only way to remove those guys from the mountain is to literally blow them up. That's the only way. Yeah. You know, people were at that time, like last year, like that if there was anything connected to the start of this country and it involved a white person, everybody wanted to blow it up or remove it. You know, when all the riots and shit were happening, like the sensitivity around the racist, which I obviously I get, I'm not, but that's like what happened. Everyone's like, remove every fucking memorial that was ever built. And then I literally went, well, what are they going to do about Mount Rushmore? You literally, like, you can't just pull it down. It's a goddamn mountain. You have to blow it up. You literally have to blow it up. I was like, who's going to blow it up? Nobody yet. It's still there. I'm surprised no one's like just chucked a stick of dynamite in Washington's eyeball. Like,
We're like,
get him down.
But it's like a guy with a hammer and a chisel. Fuck Washington.
Just breaking off like chunks of his nose. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there you go. Doing my Mount Rushmore this time. And Chris, I wonder if you're going to be surprised by any of mine. I think you probably know some. I think I knew less of yours, and I think you'll know more of mine if I had to guess. And I'm going to do mine in order of least favorite to favorite. And I will also say this.
That's like saying George Washington's better than Lincoln.
He was. Lincoln got shot in the head. Did George Washington got shot multiple times and didn't die? Fucking Lincoln got shot one time and died and passed away.
George Washington died of an infection and had wooden teeth.
I don't think that's accurate.
And they also said that he never smiled because his breath smelled so goddamn bad.
Everybody's breath smelled bad back then.
Look that up.
They all smelled
Teddy?
bad.
Teddy in the Panama Canal?
George Washington was an entrepreneur. So a lot of people are like, oh, he was the first president. Well, yeah, that's true. He's a general. He's the leader of our army. Yeah, that's true. Also an entrepreneur.
You know,
and was in alcohol and spirits. That was
he could have just been a king or an emperor, but he chose to just say, 2 terms is enough.
Yeah, no, the reason he didn't, Chris, is the whole foundation on why we're a country.
I know.
We're literally the first country in existence not ruled by one person.
But he could have been because a lot of people wanted him to keep going.
Yeah, and
he's like, no,
knew what that would do to the country. Knew it would destroy our identity.
Yeah, but he's like, no. I really need to focus on my health. My teeth are rotting out of my head. My breath is stinky. No one wants to talk to me anymore. My fucking breath
smells like dick. Yeah, that's true. All right, so should I get into it?
Yes.
I'll start at the bottom. My number four on my Mount Rushmore at this current time is the Rodriguez PRIMERA CLASE. Would you have guessed it?
I would have guessed Rodriguez.
Most people would not guess Rodriguez because most people don't know who Rodriguez is, which is a fucking atrocity.
I know.
That cigar. So here's what I'll say, and I won't use too many descriptors because it's like, if you're asking me what my favorite cigar is, and I'm telling you, and you want to know what it is, that means you should be intrigued enough to go fucking buy them. So go fucking get them. Go get the PRIMERA CLASE. Know what I'm talking about. What I love about this cigar is it's so rich and savory. And the first time I smoked it, I was like, it's like fucking like a rich dark chocolate cake. Like it's got a little bit of that bitter, but it's got the real bold sweetness to it. And the cigar is so amazing. It is literally one of the best cigars I've ever had. Obviously, it's made it into my top 4. I think it's absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah, but bottom 4. Bottom of the 4.
It's the bottom of my 4. It's the worst of the best.
See what I'm saying now?
That's where it's at. Yeah, it's the worst of the best for me. And I was just introduced to Rodriguez cigars not that long ago. And if anybody has bought them, the original Donger release was a Rodriguez cigar. And there's a reason we did that, because we knew from a profile perspective and because the sincere admiration we have for their owner, Danny, who we've become very good friends with, the admiration we have around or what we love about those cigars was able to be kind of translated into what we did with the Donger. So those flavor characteristics that I love in the PRIMERA CLASE, I said, hey, what we want to do with the Donger is going to be something similar, but with some variances. And it turned out perfectly. People are still smoking the Donger, by the way. I love it. Yeah. Someone sent me a thing the other day. 2 people actually sent me 2 different Donger comment. I was like, holy shit, people are still smoking this thing.
Listen, if you're going to have a Donger in your mouth, it has to taste good.
Oh, I mean, of course. No one wants a dirty Donger.
No
one wants a danky Donger. It's just not something you want. So yeah, Rodriguez PRIMERA CLASE I think is absolutely one of the most incredible cigars I've literally ever had. I have to say this, like, I think I have one left. I think I have one left, and I thought about it the other day because I saw it in my Tupperware container, and I was like, oh, at least because that's what I wanted to smoke, and I'm kind of looking through it, and I'm like, oh man, I was like, fuck, do I have any more of these left? I was like, I think I at least have 2 or 3, and I went through and I only have 1, and I literally kind of had like a small panic attack. I was like, oh my god,
so
I got to get another box.
Is that when you're Jackson or you're Roosevelt?
God.
Is that be Lincoln or Washington?
No, because they're the best.
That's not Johnson.
It's Roosevelt. Who was that guy?
I thought it was Jackson. I could be wrong. Hold on.
Andrew Jackson? Andrew Jackson was a racist. They probably are, though, if we're being honest about it. You figure it out. Here's what I want to say. Dana DeFabio, great job on the PRIMERA Class A. It is a Mexican San Andreas wrapper with Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler combination. Absolutely fucking incredible cigar. You can buy these cigars from Rodriguez directly, which is what I would recommend. I'd recommend just buying a box. You absolutely, I guarantee, will not be disappointed. They're so good. Who is he?
Jefferson.
It's fucking Jeff. He was not racist. He had a black mistress.
I was thinking Thomas Jackson. And I was like, who the fuck's Thomas Jackson?
Thomas Jackson.
I had two presidents mixed together. Thomas Jackson.
That's funny. Thomas Jackson sounds like a Thomas Jackson sounds like an actor.
It does. It sounds like a street cop in Detroit in like a movie or something.
Yeah. Jackson, get over here.
Get over here, Jackson.
Jackson, I am tired of your shit.
So that's your Jefferson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my Jefferson.
He drafted the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty important. All right. Good for that guy.
He also acquired Louisiana territory from the French, doubling the size of the country.
Also pretty dope. Anything we can take from the French is good. We did it with croissants. Mm-hmm. We did it with Lady Liberty.
We stole her.
And we did it with Louisiana.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What else are we taking from the French? Fries. Pretty much French fries are ours now, if we're being honest.
Yeah. And toast. French toast. We'll take that too.
The crepes next. It's coming. All right. Number 3 on my list. And by the way, let me say this. Number 4 is the hardest pick because there's so many cigars that hover around that. Mm-hmm. Like 4 could be a variance of like 10 different cigars. Yeah. So 4 is arguably the hardest one to pick. My first 2 were really easy. My third one was a little bit more complicated. My fourth one was really tough because there's so many that are in line right there. That like the difference in if I were to score 10 through 4, they would be really close together. Really close together. All right, here's my number 3. You ready for this?
Yes.
The Davidoff Colorado Claro.
I knew that one was in there.
Such a good cigar. In terms of Davidoffs, and I am a huge Davidoff fan. I smoke them all the time. I love the Yamasa. I love the Nicaragua. I love the Millennium. Their Davidoffs to me are just, they're so good. It's hard to find a bad one. It's really hard to find a bad one. The Colorado Claro was one that I smoked in Chicago years back. I was at a humidor in Schaumburg and I was kind of just checking. I was like, God, what do I want? I was looking at some different stuff and nothing really was like striking my fancy. It's really nice humidor, tons of cigars. I used to go there all the time and been back there and it's been a while. And I was just looking at the Colorado Claro and one of the guys who works there became friends with, he came up and he was just like, hey man, he's like, you're looking for a Davidoff? If you haven't had the Colorado Claro, try it. It's really funky flavors. It's just got a tang to it, but it's got some sweetness. It's really well balanced, the whole thing. And I smoked it and I was like, holy shit, this, and exactly what he said in terms of descriptors. I was like, it's got all of that. It's just got so much bright flavors to it, which is traditional for Davidoffs. Like we always say, Davidoffs are very aromatic. They have really bright, pungent flavors. The Colorado Claro is no different. I think it's just, I love the variance of flavors in it. They are just a little bit different. They are just a little bit wild. They're really wild. And I really like this cigar and I appreciate everything that goes into like making this cigar. They're absolutely beautiful. If you look at the way they're constructed, amazing. And so what you have is an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, a Dominican binder, and a combination of Dominican fillers. This runs roughly, like you could buy this. It's not sub 20. It's just over. Typically hovers around that like $21 to $24 price range, depending on where you're at and what the taxes look like. which isn't terrible really for this cigar. I think it's so good under the Davidoff brand. It's worth the money. Cause like a Yamasá and a Nicaragua are like the more popular ones that I would say are, you could call them Davidoff lower end, which is still really upper end. Those hover around like the $16 to $18 price range. This isn't much outside of that. And the flavors of this cigar are funky, wild, and absolutely delicious. So Colorado Claro is my number 3.
Yes. So you're Teddy Roosevelt, who was responsible for the rapid growth of the economy of the country in the early 20th century.
Was he? Did you know that he wore Abercrombie? Look that up.
Did you know he also negotiated the construction of the Panama Canal?
I did know that. And did you know that he said, don't shoot until you see the white of their eyes?
Yeah. He's also the same one that was blind and had to wear glasses for a reason.
Yeah. I may have lied about the Abercrombie thing.
I might have lied about his vision.
But Abercrombie, remember the whole Abercrombie thing is like Abercrombie since 1812. Like it's on all their clothes. I just assumed he did.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
He also fought against corporate monopolies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of monopolies to be fighting against.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Kind of goes back to like the idea of what this country was founded on, you know, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's special. I like it. He's a good guy. He's a good number 3. It's a good number 3. Slightly better than Jefferson, if we're being honest. So I think number 3 position for him is pretty good.
Yes.
All right. Working my way into number 2. Chris, could you guess my number 2?
Your Lincoln? Because let's be honest, it goes in that order.
I'd kind of put Roosevelt in front of Lincoln, if we're being honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lincoln was not that impressive. He fucking got shot in the head. His lack of awareness is atrocious.
Well, yeah.
He's really not battle hardened. Roosevelt was battle hardened. Jefferson was. Well, maybe not as much. But Washington certainly battle hardened. What did fucking Lincoln do?
I don't know.
Fight. He boxed.
He was known as the White Frankenstein to all slaves.
Yeah, what was that movie? What was that vampire Lincoln? What was that called?
Oh, Vampire Hunter or something like that.
Yeah,
Lincoln, Vampire Hunters.
It's actually a very entertaining movie.
Yeah,
super entertaining. Pretty fun to watch.
Number 2, right?
Yeah. Could you guess my number 2?
And it's got to go ahead of a Davidoff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised you don't know mine. Like, I'm really concerned that you just can't rattle it off. This is concerning to me.
It is. It's like
I thought that you knew me pretty well.
My head's kind of a blur right now. Like, all I have in my brain are like these presidents.
Fucking worthless presidents.
I don't know why I want you to have it on the list. Is the LFD Colorado so badly?
The Colorado Oscuro?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. It could have made my list. Because it is a really good cigar and I smoke it often.
Yeah. But a number 2, huh?
But it is not.
Alma de Fuego.
Fuck off. No, god damn it, Chris. It is the EP Carrillo La Historia.
Yeah.
A La fucking Historia. I said this before. There's only so many cigars that are box worthy. The EP Carrillo La Historia is one of the only ones I've bought multiple boxes of. It's because I love the cigar so much. It never gets old to me. Dude, it has the flavors of the cigar are so ever changing. It is the least boring cigar I think I've ever smoked. There's spice, there's sweet, there's cream, there's wood, there's nutty, there's all of it. And it just like every one of them is like a Tyson punch to the fucking face. Like uppercut 1, fucking big left jab, right cross, fucking right uppercut. just over and over and over again, right to your fucking suckhole. They're so goddamn good. The EP Carrillo La Historia, I've smoked more of this cigar than I've smoked of any cigar. Hands down. It's not even close. Not even close. Not even close. I've smoked so many of these goddamn cigars. It's unfucking real. To me, one of the best cigars ever created, hands down. So fucking good. Mexican San Andreas wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, Nicaraguan fillers. Oh, dude, they are unfucking real. Just unreal. I don't think there's somebody fucking challenge me on this and say that the EP Carrillo La Historia is not amazing. EP Carrillo has had multiple cigars that have made number one in the recent 5 years. The EP Carrillo La Historia got number 2. Should have been number 1. I would argue is the best EP Carrillo ever made under the brand. Hands down. I dare someone to challenge me. I'll fucking eat your fucking skull if you challenge me on this. That's how passionate I am about this number 2. The EP Carrillo La Historia, number 2 in 2014 Cigar Aficionado. And I always say Cigar Aficionado gets it wrong. Well, they got this wrong, but the other way. Should have been number 1. Shouldn't have been number 2. I don't even know what number 1 was that year, but I'm sure it's something stupid. Probably Oliva.
Probably.
Chris, I feel like you have not smoked a lot of the La Historia.
I haven't.
Which is a bit concerning to me.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to know what number 1 was for 2014?
La Historia?
No, the Oliva V.
Well, I was about to say, the La Historia didn't come out until like 2018, right?
No, that's very wrong. Literally, you were listening to nothing I was saying because the La Historia was number 2 in 2014. The Oliva V was number 1 in 2014. You're fucking killing me.
When did we first smoke it, though?
I first smoked it probably in like 2015.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I said I've been smoking. I've had more of this cigar than anything else. I've been smoking this cigar for such a long time. Such a long time.
Very La Historical of you.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
I guess I had it only a year or two after that then. I think.
Maybe.
Then I think I only had one.
I think you should probably start smoking them more.
And then put it in the archives.
The flavor profile is more up your alley than it would traditionally be mine.
Oh.
Seriously. Not kidding.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it.
That's fucking pathetic to me. But you also like smoking acids on occasion. So there's that.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 1. We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Drum roll.
Hold on. Do I have a drum roll?
You have a drum roll?
Do I have a drum roll? That's as good as get.
My number 1 in my current Mount Rushmore. Chris, can you guess this one?
Is it infused?
Yeah, it's fucking infused.
Camacho. Bourbon barrel.
You know what I really want to do? I want to do an episode of cigars that we're ashamed we like.
We totally should.
You know that'd be a fun episode. You know that, right? No.
You want me to keep guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, and it's recent too. I feel like it's a more recent one. Is it still the number 9?
No. Dude, I put the T52 above the number 9. Number 9 has dropped off my list pretty significantly.
That's true. And you put a foundation up there anyway, so there's no reason why you would put that up there then. Can't have 2 nicks up there.
I'm waiting.
Number 1.
I'm really shocked you don't know this one. Really shocked.
Dude,
I fucking know there's people listening to this right now that are screaming it at the top of their lungs. They're literally going, it's and you are my fucking brother and you don't know this. And there's at least There's at least 15 audience listeners right now that are screaming it, going, I know what it is. They're raising their hand going, I fucking know. I can't call on them because they're not on here.
Give me a hint. Okay, use it in a sentence.
Use the hint in a sentence? How about it is literally the fucking child? It's the literal child of a horse and a donkey.
Oh, it's a warhead.
What? What? Dude, what the fuck does that even mean?
When you blend a child and a donkey, you get a warhead.
You get a Mexican city? You get a crime-ridden Mexican city?
That's where my head went.
You get the most ruthless fucking city in the world? That's what you get when you mix a fucking horse and a donkey?
A horse and donkey.
What the fuck is your logic?
So
it's hard to talk to you sometimes.
So
it's hard.
So what's the first letter of the brand?
A C, motherfucker.
Could still be a Camacho.
This is tough. Hey, here's hint number 2. Something you do with your foot. What do you do with your feet? If you say foot job, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face.
You stomp like you're mashing grapes.
No.
Oh, it's
a Juarez stomp. That's what you're getting from this. It's a Juarez stomp.
Yeah. Is that close?
Not even.
Okay, so
a Juarez stomp is what they do to the police in the middle of the city.
You do it with your feet, and it's got a donkey kick, mule kick. Oh, okay. So,
Jesus fucking Christ!
Can I get the year though? Can you give me? I'll give you the year. I know the year it is.
What year?
It's 2018.
Thank you. For fuck's sake! Jesus Christ! Hey, Chris, what do you get when you fucking breed a horse with a donkey? I know, a fucking Mexican city. What the fuck? Something you do with your feet. Oh, you stomp. Who the fuck guesses stuff? Dude, you would be the worst at Family Feud. The worst.
You know what my problem is?
They'd be like, something you do in bed with your wife, and you'd be like, Yahtzee.
Turn off the lights.
Something you do in bed with your wife. Drive in a car. Drive around town.
This just goes to show I'm an overthinker.
You're an underthinker. I think your brain thinks you're overthinking, but it's really fucking grossly underthinking.
I did know that one.
You have a brain fucking barrier. You have a condom around your brain.
Mm-hmm. For safety.
I'm having such a hard time talking to you right now. I don't even know where to go. I just want to close the episode out. I can't even be excited about my number 1 pick now.
So this is your Washington. Your old rotten tooth Washington.
Yeah. Which one I thought would be super obvious to you, because I know it's obvious to multiple people who are listening. So I figured it'd be obvious to you, and it wasn't, and that's okay. It's okay that it wasn't obvious to you. What's not okay is I literally give you the easiest hints in the world, and you still manage to not fucking get it right.
Yeah.
And that's the harsh part about this conversation.
Yeah.
That's the disappointing variable in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is now I just know you're dumb.
I'm dumb.
It's really tough on me right now. It's really
I know it's tough on you. I'm trying to be empathetic. I know it's tough on you.
Thanks. Where'd you learn that? God, you're stressing me out.
Okay. Please continue. Let's celebrate.
God, I almost just want to redo this whole fucking thing.
No way.
I can't even be excited now.
You can be excited.
I can't be excited about literally my all-time favorite cigar.
You got to get excited. Come on, Cory. Tell everyone. Get excited for your number 1.
Well, let me start by this. Let me start by what it is.
Okay.
Ecuadorian Havana wrapper. Combination of Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler. Dude. For real. The first time I had this cigar, I came 6 times. Like Jesus juice everywhere. Mm-hmm. It was that good. There's certain cigars, obviously I'm kidding. There's certain cigars that you smoke and you remember where you're at when you smoke the cigar. Mm-hmm. The first time I smoked this cigar, I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember exactly where I was at. I remember everything. It was that good. This was a cigar that I smoked, and I don't know if you can reflect back to this because it was a while ago. I texted all of you how good it was. Mm-hmm. And I used to say this all the time. If I text you how good a cigar is, it means I really think it's an incredible cigar. Mm-hmm. Because usually I just don't say anything. But if I think it's that good, I'll literally go, guys, this fucking thing is incredible. Mm-hmm. The Crown Heads 2018 Four Kicks Mule Kick was that cigar for me. Now, I said earlier that the EP Carrillo La Historia, I smoked that cigar more than any other cigar, which I think for most people would trigger the thing of, well, if you smoke that more than anything else, well, that should be your favorite. It's not true. This is limited production, limited release. So I've only had so many. You can't get them anymore. I only have like 7 left. So I cherish them. I smoke them in very rare occasions. I smoked one not too long ago on my birthday.
Yeah, the lifespan of a mule is only 20 years.
There you go. I probably won't get that many. I won't get that many years out of this one, out of this particular blend. Mm-mm. This is one where I feel like begging John to re-release. Like, dude, you've got to come out with this fucking cigar again. And I would argue it would probably be one of the biggest fucking releases ever. Mostly because I would be behind it. Literally, I would campaign with this cigar like a president does for the presidency. Like a presidential candidate does for his presidency. I would campaign across the nation for the release of this cigar again.
It's like if the American public's like, bring back Lincoln. It's like, he's already dead.
Yeah.
Can't bring him back, but we want Lincoln back. I will say it is fucking good though. In fact, if I can recall, wouldn't you say it's probably one of the better combinations of like spicy, nutty, and like sweet cigars?
Dude, it is like
Crown Heads came out with.
Dude, it's a fistful of fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. It is so good. It to me is the most dynamic fucking cigar that's ever been released. And there are so many cigars that Crown Heads releases that I absolutely love, that I like cherish. Like I go through my Crown Heads box. I'm like, oh my God, what can I smoke tonight? There's so many good things in here. Dude, the 2018 Mule Kick is just, it's on another level in comparison to so many other cigars that just hover around this like certain level, right? Like you just comparatively look at the way people score cigars. Like how many 90s and 91s are out there? They're just all fucking layered on top of one another, right? There's this huge blend. Like if you were to take a sample of like what's represented in 91 scores, like what is in that bubble? It's like 500 cigars. But cigars that are rated like 97, 98, what's in those? Like what's the sample size of that? It's pretty small comparatively. Dude, the 2018 Mule Kick is there. That's where it's at. Like that to me, the consistency around that cigar, by the way, you know, one of the things I hate doing with cigars is holding on to them anymore. Like I have this like subconscious thing that tells me to do it, but I know oftentimes the cigar could literally diminish over time. Right? It can only get like in terms of like the aging process only goes so far and you don't want it to lose its fuel. Dude, this is a cigar that does not age out at all. I mean, I've held on to the ones that I've had for years, for fucking years. The last box I grabbed was 3 years ago, over 3 years ago at my wedding, like at my bachelor party when we went and visited John. Oh, yeah. And he said, hey, pick a box. Like, what do you want? What do you guys want? And I was like, where's the 2018 Mule Kick? I want a box of it. Like that's the one that I still have the box. That was the one that I wanted. And that's what I grabbed. And I still have those cigars years later, 3 years later, and they do not age out, dude. They're just so fucking, every time I smoke one, I fall in love with it all over again. It's so good. Like it is a release that it's like, if it does not come out again, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be angry. I feel like in some sense, John and Crown Heads is like mounting a re-release of this. Like, I feel like it's going to come. But if it doesn't, I'm going to be angry. That's how much I love this cigar. Like if it came out again, dude, it'd be the only fucking box of cigars I buy for an entire year. I'd say fuck everything else. I would buy, I'm coming out and saying it right now. I would buy 20 boxes. I'd drop thousands of dollars and I'd grab as many boxes as I can and just hold on to them just to the end of time. Just as long as I could, I would just smoke them until literally I burn myself out on them. And then I'll stop smoking. And then a year later, I'll just keep smoking them and burn myself out on them. Just rotate through them. They're that fucking good. I'm telling you right now, I know there's people who agree with me, and there's a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say this. I know for a fact there's people who agree with me, because then if I post a picture of it or I like put it out there, like there are some people that are like die hard about the 2018 Mule Kick like I am. Like it's like the cigar that like changed their fucking world. That's a 2018 Mule Kick for me. It's absolutely that good.
Year of the Mule.
Yeah, that goddamn mule. That goddamn Juarez, that stomping Juarez running around. Now we're going to have to make a fucking cigar called the Juarez Stomp. That's going to be the next one we do. After Donger's the Juarez Stomp. I know, we're going to have to call it the Mexican Stomp, because there's already a Juarez cigar. We don't want to be competing in that sense. We got to call it the Mexican Stomp.
Might be trademarked. I don't know.
But there you have it. There's my Mount Rushmore. People ask all the time. Narrowing it down to 4 is probably one of the most challenging things to do, because there's so many good cigars that I smoke day in and day out. And oftentimes you can think, like you said, the LFD Colorado Oscuro, which is one of I love smoking that cigar. I actually may smoke one tonight. That's how many when I go out, I buy them. I just buy every time I see them, I buy them. It's not my favorite. What I love about it is it's so well balanced. Mm-hmm. Like it's an anytime cigar. It's not my favorite cigar. It's an anytime cigar, which puts it in my top 10 for sure. But it's a cigar that I don't have to think about. It's like, if I smoke it at night, it's amazing. If I smoke it early in the morning, it's amazing. If I smoke it in the heat, it's amazing. If I smoke it in the cold, it's amazing. It's not my favorite. It's just really good in all conditions. That's why I love it so much. But there's so many that like they just stack right in that level. Like there's other cigars that I was thinking about that were just like turning in my head. I'm like, oh, it could easily be that. It could be that. And then I had to rationalize with myself and prioritize the importance of why I liked one over the other. And that's really how I came up with my top 4, because in that 4 range, I'm like, well, what makes this better than this? And I really had to kind of like write out what characteristically I liked about certain ones over others, and then prioritize the importance of those characteristics. And that's how I came up with it.
Like maybe like
not an easy thing to do.
Like desire to smoke it, maybe, or like
like how many times I smoked it. What's the flavor characteristic? What's the profile of it? Like all these different things I had to take into consideration, and then prioritize the importance of those things I had to consider. Mm-hmm. Like how many times I smoked it is a high priority, because how many times I smoked it would lead itself to how much I like it. You know what I mean? And like, okay, well, what flavors does it impart? Well, what flavors do I like characteristically that I get? You know what I mean? Like it was not what I'm saying is I wasn't just like, oh, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it took me a while to fucking figure it out. Like in my notepad, I scratched out so many different cigars and then started writing out lists of what I liked and didn't like. Like it's like a pros and cons list, like a risk assessment thing. Like, what do I actually like? Here's everything written out, bullet pointed. Like I took it very serious. Because people ask, and they deserve to know at this particular time, they deserve to know exactly why and what I love. Mm-hmm. So you go. The disappointing thing is like, if you've never had the 2018 4 Kicks Mule Kick from Crown Heads, guess what? Probably not going to have it at this point. Probably going to be very difficult to find. I mean, they have not been around literally since their release. So if you can find them, you just like Second Market buy a box, or like some fucking humidor somewhere and just has them hidden. They didn't even know they had them. They just uncover a box in the back. They're just covered in dust. That's about the only way you'll get them. They're just not there. But like the EP Carrillo Historia, always being manufactured, always made, pretty widely available at most places you go to. Like pretty much every humidor carries EP Carrillo. And if they carry EP Carrillo, they carry the La Historia. Davidoff Claro Colorado, or the Colorado Claro, widely available. Obviously, you've got to go to a place that actually has Davidoffs. Not every humidor has Davidoffs, right? They come at a premium, and guess what? Davidoff has certain conditions in which you can carry their cigars. Not every place has it, but most major cities have at least a humidor or two that carry Davidoff cigars, in which the Colorado Claro will be available to you. The Rodriguez PRIMERA CLASE, which is my number 4, is going to be really difficult to find unless you buy it directly from Rodriguez. So you can go to rodriguezcigars.com, I think is Danny's website, and you can buy them directly from him. Very available. So I'd suggest you do that if you want to actually get the cigar, because you're not likely going to be able to find it in person. You're not going to find it on the shelf at a humidor, but I promise you they're amazing. So there you go. There's my top 4.
Pretty good picks.
I think they're very decent picks.
Very diverse from a price point, from a flavor profile standpoint, Yep. I thought that was a great selection.
I thought it was pretty good. That was pretty good. But you know what? I am looking forward to the cigars that challenge those top places.
Oh yeah.
There's one I'm thinking in my head that could potentially disrupt my top 4 long term. And I think it'd be worthwhile for us to revisit this every year. Because I think the conditions change. You know, at one time I was a huge number 9 fan. You know, I so badly in the top 4, like the Padron 1926. You know what I mean? Like that's one where I'm like, well, yeah, that could certainly slip in. You know, I've had some really good recent experiences with Arturo Fuente smoking the Opus X. So like, I would say like those type of cigars, if I get more acclimated to them, smoke them more often, like those, like my brain may trigger like, okay, I'm really, really digging this thing. It may start replacing some things in that top 4. We'll see.
You got to tostada on your brain, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. All right.
That's code, people.
Yeah, it's code for sure. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I really like talking about these cigars. I'm very passionate about everything cigars, but like really when I can make recommendations, the stuff that I love the most, I get really fucking into it. Also, I'm drinking. That probably doesn't help the energy. All right. Visit our show sponsor for sure. Visit our show sponsor, My Cigar Pack, www.mycigarpack.com. This month's release was pretty much all thing lost and found, which is Caldwell. The actual subscription packs come with a variation of Lost and Found cigars, which is their antique line. What is it, Chris? Like back to 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. I forget how far back it goes.
Yeah, you get 1 2014, I believe, 2 2015s, and 1 2017.
Is that what it is?
Tank.
There you go. So, well, anyway, it's the Lost and Found Antique series, which you get on that. And then you'll get the Factory Direct stuff as well. If you're part of the Factory Direct program, those cigars are really, really fucking good. Speaking of My Cigar Pack, if you haven't watched, we made a selection of a new Quesada cigar between 2 different blend sample blends, A1 and A2. You can watch that on YouTube now, which was co-hosted by us and Alex from My Cigar Pack. We have a ton of stuff coming up with Alex. A ton of stuff that we're doing via My Cigar Pack. That's going to be really cool. It's going to be announced like in the next couple of weeks, probably. So good things are coming. We'll announce those. They're on the horizon currently. But again, visit My Cigar Pack, www.mycigarpack.com. Promo code HOT10 at checkout for $10 off your first pack. Again, that's promo code HOT10 at checkout, $10 off your first pack. All right, that's it. Chris, thank you for a wonderful episode. Thank you for making me very angry because you're fucking terrible at hints. Drives me nuts.
I'm glad we got there though. Took teamwork.
Fuck is a Juarez stomp. Jesus Christ.
Teamwork.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Jesus Christ. I mean, never to play trivia with you or like charades.
Or hire me as an employee because you'd have to micromanage me.
Yeah, I know we got time for that shit.
If I have to think for myself, it will come out a failure.
God, you're impossible. All right. That's all I got. Thanks everybody for listening. This will conclude episode 214. We'll be back at you next week with episode 215. See you, everyone.